All right, so we got a young guy in Tyler Shough that hasn't been talked about a whole lot. Talk about a lot of the other young quarterbacks. New Orleans not having a great year, but the young man's playing some pretty good football. And I had somebody ask me, hey, give me a breakdown of Tyler. And so I thought, okay, let's dive into it a little bit and kind of show you some of the good things that he's doing. All right. I think he's just throwing a really good ball. I put this on here because I always love teaching tape, and when people watch, they don't really understand all the little nuances of it. So we got a little go route here on the bottom. And now normally go routes should go outside because we're taught to throw the ball in a certain position, 4 yards from the sideline. We want the defender inside so we can throw it outside, all this stuff. What's really hard for a quarterback is when a receiver goes inside on the go route, okay? Because you get kind of caught with, where do I throw this? He goes inside. Now, sometimes it can be tough if we've got a free safety that's playing to that side. Don't really have that issue here. But he goes inside, and you fight your muscle memory that says, oh, I'm supposed to throw it 4 yards from the sideline. But he went inside, so do I throw it to him, or is he going to go ahead and widen? Because that's what we always say. If you release inside, then you got to widen back outside, create space from the free safety, and get back to your landmark because your quarterback is throwing it to a landmark. And so it's always a tough one. So all we do is see a miss right here. But you see the ball left just a little bit inside. And like I said, right here is where Tyler Shough has to throw the football, right? So we don't know exactly where the receiver is going to end up and if he's going to stay on a straight path or, as I think it's Chris Olave here, Olave does a great job here because he widens back up like you would want. But problem is it doesn't happen fast enough, and we get a little bit of a miscommunication, or we miss by just a little bit because we're not exactly sure how it's going to play out when a receiver goes to the inside. So I had to throw that on there, just some teaching tape and things to think about, if you're in the coaching world or even when you watch little miscommunications on the field and want to blame Tyler Shough for not making a good throw or whatever that is. Really like this right here. Okay, we got a little combination out the front side. Looks like they're going to run a little hook, another little hook right here, but a great feel as he comes back. This defender overruns it just a little bit. And you see, boom, able to get the ball out of his hands, find that window. Perfect ball right on the face mask. So I like that feel that he has on the football field. You always want to know if quarterbacks have that feel, not just talented, but do they have that feel? Can they see things? Can they feel space while they're reading things out? Okay, this is really what we call a Hank combination. Okay, so OTB, or over the ball by the inside guy, and then a curl flat outside. Most people read it inside out. I like to read it outside in, but that's a whole nother conversation. But again, right here, boom, he's back. He's definitive, sees the first read, ball is out of his hands. And not that this is overly tough, but I just love seeing the pace at which he's playing with. The ability to get back and put the ball on his guy quickly, know where his eyes need to be, what he's looking at right off the bat is so key as a young quarterback. All right, so this one, a sack here. And again, teaching for me. So they're going to run basically what I call a Poco combination here. Okay, so it's a post, corner, and it's a flat. Everybody in the league runs these kind of combinations. Then they usually run an in on the backside. Okay, and so as you read it out the front side and you look at this, okay, it's tough because they've got two underneath defenders here. We really only want one, and maybe you say what we call a hole shot or a first window shot on the corner because this defender overruns it. So as we watch it, there's a shot right there. Again, you got to be ready for that. That's not an easy thing. It's tough. Normally that throw is going to come outside further, but if you come back and you're reading that flat defender and he gets width right now, sometimes you can hit that hole shot on the corner. Otherwise, drop it to the flat. Now he's getting pressure right here. But the bigger reason why I put this on here is simply because I always ask these questions is why do we put the back strong? Like, what's the reasoning behind putting a back strong here? Because what does that do? It brings extra defenders over in this direction. So this guy that gives us problems on this play is wider than he would normally be because we have the back on this side. And when we put the back to this side, but then we end up having him to the backside to be a part of the backside concept. So why would we put him to the front side? Why are we bringing an extra body to the front side to throw a front side concept? Like, these are the things that always confuse me, and I want to be in the room and know why. What benefit does that give us? Because here, if this back is over here, he's going to be there, and this guy's going to be more inside and give us more of a true high-low read off of one defender. Once we bring the back over, everybody bosses over. You see number 54 now. He gets a whole bunch of width here with this 4-strong look, and we don't really have an opportunity to hit anything here. And so, again, I don't know if it's going to come out a lot better if we don't have 4-strong. It's just, what are we doing? When we go 4-strong, you expect the defense to push to this side. So don't bring your back over here and then bring him back to the weak side unless you're trying to attack the weak side. But if you're attacking the strong side, it just doesn't make sense to me, and it makes the whole process more difficult for your quarterback. Again, you love this stuff. Come back, knows where he wants to go, knows what he's looking at. Got a little choice route right here. And he comes back, and again, hit the back foot, quick hitch, ball's out. And again, I'm not saying these are tough reads, what we're seeing here, but the first part of the process for any quarterback is to know where you're looking and to be ready to get the ball out of your hands accurately to your playmakers when there's a window, because windows aren't there for long in the NFL, so you got to know what you're doing and where you want to go with the football, and then you have to play ready. You have to be set back there before the throw. That's what I mean by being ready. So many guys, they're late to a throw because they're not quite set yet. They don't understand the timing. Understanding the timing so you're ahead of the game and you can get the ball out on time. Okay, changing a little play right here. Always stuff that you like to see quarterbacks be able to handle some of these things in these pressure looks. All right. Now, this play right here is a 3rd and longer situation. So you see this right here. For all young quarterbacks, I always like to say, play the play. Okay, don't play the situation, play the play. When the coach calls a play or when you go up and change to a particular play, you have to play the play. When you try to force the issue because of situations is when we get in trouble. So we've got basically a choice route underneath and then a 7 route over the top. Okay, and in this kind of situation, eyes always want to be on the outside guy. If the outside guy clamps down, then we want to go over the top to the 7 route. Here, Tyler just tries to force this 7 route over the top. Other thing that I always talk about with these choice 7 routes, when you know you've got a 7 over the top of you, I love the choice route to get more width out here, knowing that we can create a high-low. Don't let anybody from the inside have the opportunity to cover you. You know where the other guy over the top of you is going, so even if the guy outside covers you, you know you're opening up your buddy. And if you go wide so nobody else can cover you and the corner wants to drop deep to cover your buddy, you know you're going to be wide open. So understanding the complementary aspects of every play, but nonetheless right here, this guy never really gets close enough to squeeze that. You got to just take this choice right here and hope your playmaker makes a play for you and gets the 10 yards or whatever you need for the first down instead of trying to force it over the top simply because of the situation. All right, here's another similar type Hank concept that we talked about before. Over the ball, Boom, we've got the curl flat there. And again, back, seeing it. See him come back and just feel down the middle. We want to feel these linebackers here. Where do they go? Do they push to the outside? Do they squeeze to the middle? Boom. Hits that back foot, and you see no hesitation. Back foot, ball's out. And that's the other thing. These windows, as I said, will close, but the idea to get the ball into your playmaker's hands so they can turn and do something with it. Not only because the defense is squeezing, but faster you get it on your guys, the more they can turn and gobble up all the space that's there and create movement and first downs. All right, so got concept down here, just a double slant concept. Up top, we're going to run what I call flock. Okay, so it's a hitch and a curl, and then a guy over the ball. So it's kind of like a hank. You're hitting the same areas on the field, but you're doing it a little bit differently on the top. Okay, so slant on the bottom, flock on the top. Good job again, hitting the back foot, getting the ball out of his hands. Boom. Get it on your playmaker so he can make a move. Now, I would like the read to actually go to the other side. Okay, we really want to read double slant. When, this one's a bit dicey here because you can look at it two ways. Is this guy dropping down and this guy going back? Because I kind of feel like that's what they're doing as you see the ball snapped right here. But I guess I could also see where Tyler could say, oh, this is a 4 shell. And so if this is a 4 shell, we want to attack that one defender underneath on the double slants right here. So I was initially looking at it as a rolled safety. I can see where he's saying, oh, this is a quarters coverage. Let's attack that outside linebacker right there. He chases the inside one. Let's replace with the outside one, okay? If they are rotating down or if he comes down sooner where you're worried about him taking away the outside slant, then your read can come up here off of this defender right here. He stays tucked inside. Boom, I can go right outside to my hitch on the outside and get a completion there as well. So I see both sides of it, and I'm cool with this because he knows he can beat it, and this guy stays high enough right off the bat that you can get this football out, get a completion, a little run after catch. All right, so this was the interception that happened here, okay? And so up here, Chris Olave is running a stop route. Now, when I was playing, our rules for a stop route were you are running the stop unless it's a rolled corner, meaning this corner is up playing like a cover 2 look. He's playing in the flat, and you get hard safety help over the top. So there's no reason to run a stop route because you've got a guy already sitting underneath you. So we would turn that into a go, and oftentimes it was connected to a seam or something on the inside, so we could get a 2-on-1 on that safety if they rolled to that side. But anything else, we stayed with the stop. I know there are some teams that actually, when they get pressed, say we're going to turn those stops into a go against press because we like press goes better than we like press stops. Okay? So I don't know what their rules are. And Tyler here obviously throws the go, and Chris runs the stop. And so who's at fault here? I don't know 100%. But when I see these types of things, what I like to do is I like to look at the guy on the other side. The guy on the other side has the exact same look. He's got a press look as well. It's a middle high, so no roll to either side. And let's look down here. What does the guy on the bottom do? He runs a stop. He runs a stop. He runs a stop on the top. So this makes me think that the right decision here was by the receiver in whatever form or fashion, and why and what their rules are. But I feel like the receiver did the right thing, Tyler thought he was going to do something else and didn't. And another factor that we could look at right here. Okay, you see the press. But I want you to watch this corner on the snap of the ball. On the snap of the ball, watch what he does. See that right there? See how he turns and opens? See how it's different than this corner down here? This corner is playing a man press technique, okay? So he's ready to grab him and he's going to run with him. This guy's playing what we call a bail technique, okay? So he's bailing, he's turning it and running out of there. So that could be another factor here that maybe they said, hey, if he stays in a press position, then you can turn it into a go. But if he bails, you become a stopper out there. Now, the problem with that is this guy here is not staring at that release right off the bat. He's staring at the free safety to hold him in the middle of the field so he can come back and throw the go route. So there may have been some miscommunication on that aspect too. So football 101, and I know Tyler's just a rookie, but football 101 would mean, okay, we've got press. I know they're going to a middle close defense. I'm going to peek that relationship out there. I'm going to peek this relationship out here on the snap just to verify on the snap, what's he do? And then I see right there, oh, he's bailing. That helps to give me a key. Now I can get my eyes back to the free safety and hold the free safety if need be and do all of that. But being able to peek releases and then get to the next step, again, football 101, don't expect everyone to be able to do that. But if you can get to that point, obviously it helps in situations like this. But you see a lot of factors here. And unfortunately, that miscommunication leads to an interception. All right, see him once again, basically running that same concept again. Got a little Hank concept here with the swing, and they actually mirror it down here. Not sure who runs what, but they mirror it down here, so it's basically double curls with a guy over the ball. Once again, you're going to read this inside out. Okay, so inside, looks like it's going to be there because of the pressure. They pop somebody out, good recognition right there. Kick it quickly to your swing off that pressure. Nice. Just bring your feet with it, right? That's one big thing. You saw it a lot in college. I want to see him continue to get better at, but you see he's lined up to go here and decides to go out here, and just watch his feet, right? His feet are basically set in this direction right here as he's trying to throw a swing. And I get it. It's just a swing. Most guys at this level are going to be able to make a swing throw without bringing their feet. But I always say it. The feet and the body will guide your throw. So here this becomes an all-arm throw, and it's back behind him. And again, we complete it. It's all good. But put that in front of him. What's it mean? Another 2, 3, 4, 5 yards, right? He's not turning his back while the entire defense is running to tackle him. So ball placement, that's what we talk about with accuracy. A lot of people say, oh, the completion percentage is good because he completed this pass, but not an accurate pass. So completion percentage, accuracy are completely different, but like the decision right there. And you continue to notice the ability to get the ball out quick and get it to his playmakers. So key. Okay, really well done right here. They're going to have what I call an under combination. So an under outside, you got an in over the top of it. Then you got, looks like kind of hooks over to this side. Tampa's going to bring pressure over here. He looks this way, not really sure what stops him from throwing the under here. As you see, he comes out, boom, right there. Maybe he sees the DB, he's watching the DB. The DB kind of stops on his feet. Looks like he's going to drive it. So that could be the factor right there. Doesn't have it. Does a great job of being able to pop back here to the backside and find the throw. Really well done. Watch him bring his eyes into feet. Eyes in the feet, right? We talked about the feet not being good on the last one. This one, great. Feet set up to the left, doesn't like it. Boom, pops his eyes and feet together. Even with the defender sitting here, can anticipate, put this ball on the outside away from the defender and get a completion. Really good process right there. And again, good decision making, right? You're not seeing necessarily a bunch of big throws. So it doesn't always wow you, but the wow is about, hey, getting back, seeing it, ball's out of his hands. He's not back there holding the football. The one 4-strong design that I wasn't really a fan of was the one he holds and gets sacked on. I understand why. This one, he's going to get the big in over here, and then he's going to have an underneath hook. Simply find that defender, whoever's in that hook area right there, right? Gets depth, just replace the depth. You got a high-low. You know where your eyes are supposed to be. You know who you're reading, what defender you're reading on this particular play. Boom, get it out and play the game. Long yardage situation here. Don't have to try to get it all back at one time. Play every play and make the right decision on each play. And he's been doing a nice job of that in this game. And that's, again, a big part of what you're looking for from a young quarterback. Make the right decisions. Make the right throws. Continue to move the football. Positive plays, so important. Again, ball out of his hands quickly. Some sort of a, looks like they're going to kind of run a influence post here more than it's a slant. And then they're going to come off of it with a double slant combination here. We'll see this guy right there. That guy stays tucked inside. We're going to work to the next guy. They're trying to bring this safety down, but he's late coming down. So Tyler does a nice job right there of going, okay, he doesn't have, or he's got too much depth. He hasn't come down too fast. These two are taken away by those backers. That's his throw right there, where he's got to work on. Good job again. Hit the back foot, get it out. Boom. Take it. That's not there. Combination just says it's not there. Just replace with the shallow coming right here, but good anticipation, seeing the big picture, seeing the late rotation, the high rotation, finding a way to get that slant in there. Really like this one. I can't remember if it was 3rd and short, 4th and short. Yeah, 4th and short right here. So they decide to go for it down here, and it's really good coverage. I mean, look at the scenario right here with all of these guys. Don't really have anything. He does a nice job of buying time and getting the feel, and he's able to hit Alavi right here, who separates just a touch right there. Nice job by him pushing out there and then stopping and then just finding that little window, let him catch it, fall for the first down. Again, we talked about the feel earlier. This is the feel. Nothing's open. Draw it out. Keep your eyes going. Find a throw. Okay, so thought he missed one right here. Come back with the play action. I just basically 2-man route, clear out more than anything. And then we've got this in, quick post right here. Thought he had a window right there for the post. Not sure. Trying to read his eyes and his feet. It almost looks like he's coming back to this side more than the guy over the middle. Not really sure. You get post, you got a high safety, never going to really be looking there. Hit that back foot and bang, that quick one right there off of the pull of the linebackers. But anyways, okay, doesn't see it. Happens sometimes. You miss something. You're a little bit late getting there. Finding positive plays. He goes right to his check down. Young quarterbacks always know where your check down is. Okay, so there, he misses it, right? Wide open shot, right? These are the ones that you got to be able to find and make. These are difference-making plays in games. But as I said, quickly to the check down, even though it gets knocked down, trying to find positive plays, not just back there holding the football. Really like this one right here. We're going to run a pylon concept. Okay, so pylon, it's a deep corner to the back pylon. Then we're going to come off of it with a deep out here. And then the flat. So just kind of a flood to that side. You're going to read the outside defender. See if you can get him to hold and take the shot over the top. If you don't, then you're going to read the flat defender. They actually play this really well right here. Flat defender jumps here. Safety gets outside the pylon, so we don't really have that throw. And then the corner is covering the third level of it. These two guys working together Olave again does a great job of seeing that corner, and he's going to settle right here. And you see Tyler's already ready to throw this football, so they must have talked about this and worked on this communication. This is next level type stuff for a guy that's only started a few games to be able to see this, anticipate it, boom, hit it right in that window for the first down. Really, really well done. Couldn't have been covered any better. There's not really any other options for him. They just cut the field in half for him. Not any more options. And Tampa plays it really, really well. But find a way to get a completion with the quarterback and wide receiver on the same page. Okay? Again, finding a completion. They're going to run influence right through here. Then they're going to come back with the curl flat to this side, and then the back's going to check down. Comes out, you read the flat defender. Flat defender works hard right here. Thought he had possibly a shot at that curl, but this next defender may have taken it away right there. Okay? Yep, I can see that. Thinking he gets too wide. So again, what's he do? He knows where he's going from there. Don't like the front side? Find your check down. Find your backside shallow right there. Boom, get a completion. No hesitation. He's not holding the football. He's not unsure at this point. A lot of young guys, hey, you're going to read 1 and 2, then I'm not really sure. I got to run around and create. Don't have 1, don't have 2. Boom, get to 3 really quick. Get a completion, get a positive play, and even that little one right there is going to move the chains. All right, really well done. Again, we're going to motion out here, have a go route. Suppose you can peek that first. Got a little safety help over the top. Then they're going to run this little pivot here, start inside, go outside. You're going to work to there, and then he's going to work to his number 3. It's the crosser right here, right? These are the kind of the typical pure progression type stuff. 1, peek it. Then we're going to go 2. Then we're coming into the vision 3. I don't know what this guy's doing, but he's probably running an in or a deep curl over here. Typical Y cross type combination. Yep, running the big in there, but you see it. Covered, out, especially with safety help. This one's covered, never gets separation. Able to work to number 3 in that void back there. Boom, nice job. I mean, really well done. Working through his progressions, seeing it, moving his feet, his eyes, making accurate throws. It's been kind of the theme for the game, right? Is just get back, see it, get it out of your hands. Not a lot of big throws in this one, but good quality quarterback play, and the reason that they won. This is maybe the best throw that he had in the game. Okay, it's going to be a similar type concept. We're going to go here, a little deeper out there, and then we bring the drive back. Drive concept is going to be the shallow and the in to that side. So you come out here, you can always peek the go if you like the situation over there. You like the relationship with the corner or the press, but really going 1, 2, 3, and then check down probably somewhere over here going with the 4. But I really love this because he gets a quick win here, and you see the defender is underneath him. So that can be a hard throw at times with that defender underneath. It can scare you. You start to throw it. He breaks underneath. Interception. Does a great job of setting this ball up and over the top. Feeling that relationship and laying it up and over where only his guy can get it. Really well done right there. Guy in his face. Able to get that finish on the throw. And another big third down conversion in the game. Helped him win. So we'll end on that one right there. But you can see the performance really solid across the board. Decision making, getting the ball out of his hands, not taking sacks, not having questions on what to do with the football, and then making a lot of accurate throws. Missed a couple of the deep ones. The communication was a little bit off there. But overall, that's kind of what I've seen over the last couple weeks. He's gotten better and better every week. New Orleans has to be really excited with the way he's playing.